Imagine being asked to pack your bags, right in front of everyone, to show them what their future holds. Picture the confusion, the whispers, the heavy silence as you gather your things, not for a journey of hope, but as a living warning. This is exactly what the prophet Ezekiel was commanded to do by God. In Ezekiel Chapter 12, God gives Ezekiel a tough job, one that would make him the center of attention, but not in a way anyone would desire. God's instructions were clear and dramatic. Ezekiel was to act out the coming exile, turning his own life into a message for all to see. He was to become a living parable, a walking prophecy. The people of Israel had grown numb to words. They ignored warnings, dismissed prophets, and clung to the hope that nothing would change. So God chose a new way to reach them, through action, through a visual story that no one could ignore. Ezekiel was told to pack his belongings as if he were going into exile, right in front of his neighbors. He gathered his few possessions, wrapped them in cloth, and prepared to leave his home. Every movement was deliberate, every item a symbol of loss and uncertainty. The people watched, perhaps puzzled or even amused at first, but soon the reality set in. This was not a performance, but a prophecy unfolding before their eyes. Then, as the sun set and shadows grew long, Ezekiel did something even more startling. He dug through the wall of his house, breaking through stone and clay, and crawled out into the night. This was no ordinary exit. It was a sign of desperation, of escape, of a future where safety and comfort would be shattered. All of Israel watched, some in disbelief, others in fear. Why did God ask for such a dramatic display? Because the people had stopped listening. They had eyes and ears, but their hearts were closed. They saw the signs, heard the warnings, but refused to believe that judgment could come to them. Their leaders reassured them with empty promises, and the people clung to denial, hoping that disaster would pass them by. But God's patience had limits, and now he was making his message impossible to ignore. Ezekiel's actions were a living message, a sign that the leaders and people of Jerusalem would soon go into exile. The city they loved, the temple they cherished, would be left behind. Even their prince, the one they looked to for hope, would not escape. He would try to flee under the cover of darkness, his face hidden in shame. But God's plan would not be thwarted. The prophecy was clear. The prince would dig through the wall and sneak out at night, just as Ezekiel had done. But he would be caught, blinded, and led away to a foreign land. The people would be scattered, their lives uprooted, their dreams shattered. This was not just a warning for the leaders, but for everyone who had turned away from God. Even as the prince tried to cover his face and escape, he could not hide from God's justice. The darkness could not conceal him, nor could his power protect